Oh, dang it. I messed up something. Anyway, hello. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me well, because I clicked on something wrong. Well, get the baseball bat ready. Welcome to Higurashi. And Oshir Sama's curse, apparently, is with us all. So, just as a little heads up, in case you haven't been following, we are part of the way through the Watanagashi Festival, and I think this is where I was told to stop. So, I messed up something. I meant to turn on my mic, not change it to max volume, so we're good. Anyway, so, and I think Rika's about to start dancing. That's all I know. Also, as I put in chat, I tried to find pictures of mattresses clogging streams. That's not a picture that anyone's ever taken, I think. Or at least that's not one that I'm finding online. When you search mattress clogging stream, you just find pictures of mattresses. Not exactly helpful. Anyway, so let us get started. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elders who were in priestly garb. We'll get to stuff happening in a couple minutes. Excellent, good. I heard low exhalations of admiration, and the seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way, and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. We should have cut playtime short and come here to get good spots earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? How about streams clogging mattresses? That's a good one. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to find more mattresses. Then the solemn oratory dance began. She had practiced using a mochi pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival hoe Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down, it was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved, raised it, and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As the Shrine Maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. Am I gonna pray to Rika as she dances? Maybe? Pray that she doesn't do anything strange. Will it let you post a, like a link with a broken, like, change the dot to DOT? That's what we've done in the past. Honestly, I have half a mind to start trying to do some sort of Discord chat or something for stream chat. I'm thinking about it still. I might do a little practice with it next stream. Anyway, she couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As a Shrine Maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. Yeah, just put a space somewhere and break up the link. Bust out the webcam and dance with Rika. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Dang, why am I cheering her on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend, so I should be right up in the best spot rooting for her. Define strange that I hope Rika doesn't do. That's a little bit loud. I'd like Rika not to, like, go on a murderous killing spree. I've got a slight feeling that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't that, or not, what am I saying? Yeah, sorry, got sidetracked. I'm bad with names. I'm thinking that, Mion and Rena might not have been entirely crazy, and I'm slightly worried that Rika might show signs of craziness this time. Yeah, I'll look into the Discord thing for the next couple streams. What it'll probably be, and I need to learn more about Discord because I barely know much about it. I use it, but I barely know anything about it. I want to make, like, some sort of stream chat that I have a bit more control over. And, you know, that people can post links. That kind of thing. Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. She had a mischievous grin on her face, and I took it as her saying she knew a good place nobody else knew of. Oh, excuse me.
Shion? Nanda?
Are you sure you're not Mion in disguise?
黙ってついてきてくださいね。
What do you mean stream complete? The stream's still going! Dang it. Am I dropping frames? I don't think I'm dropping frames. Video output low. It's not the day that I wanted this to happen. Hold on. Let me... Sorry. Are you guys seeing the stream alright? Or is it sounding kind of choppy? I didn't bother to do a speed test before this. Download looks good. Clearly the best part of the stream. I think I might have dropped internet for like a very short, a little bit. I dropped like 300 frames and now it's back. Okay. I'm gonna take that as okay and we'll keep going. Sorry. After she told me so, she ran at a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have someone who knows the lay of the land here at times like this. Shion always has this mischievous grin on her face. Predictions based on the events that have happened so far in this arc. Well, so I've entertained the idea that, remember whenever when we discussed, we're like, there's no way, there's no known medicine that can make someone go crazy and claw their throat out, and then they said something along the lines of, you know, just because you don't know of it, or just because the police don't know of it, doesn't make it not real, like, doesn't make it not be a possibility. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe they have some sort of medicine that causes someone to basically be evil, or be a little bit insane, as we've seen thus far, possibly. And I'm wondering if some different characters this time might be inflicted with this. Somebody like Shion. You know, the new characters are always the suspicious ones, because you can just write them off. Did the thumbnail show Danganronpa? I thought I changed that. I'm gonna double change it again, just in case, but yeah. I thought I changed that. Sorry. We will do Danganronpa soon. It's gonna happen soon, I just need to get through the investigation phase. What was it? Oh yeah, so, sorry. So, I'm kind of concerned that maybe they, like the village of Higurashi, I guess. Wait, not Higurashi. Yes, the cicadas. The cicadas, you know, that might be the thing. What if the villain was in the title the whole long? The cicadas, what's his village name again? Dang it, I forgot. Anyway, the village of Hinamizawa, yes, that's what I'm looking for. The village of Hinamizawa, perhaps, is, as a whole, as a group, maybe, is sort of leading all this on. And they're using the girls as their attack methods, perhaps. And I'm thinking, cicadas are pretty evil. They're kind of noisy. I'm thinking Shion because she's new, and then possibly Mion just because they're kind of, like, you know, linked characters, so to speak. They're sisters. Perhaps. Could be the ones instigating the whole thing. I don't know. Chirping all loud and such. It's forbidden for the culprit to be a character that isn't initially presented. That's true. Might have to think on that a bit. Still, I could see Shion being used, not as like the culprit, but as like an instrument, like a tool, so to speak, to go about This... I don't know if that's forbidden. Like, not that they're the culprit necessarily, but that they're used as, like, a tool to proceed forward with the plot. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so that I wouldn't be left behind. As I wandered in anticipation what kind of secret spot Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around to the back of the shrine grounds. Yeah, that's true. Shion could have been pretending to be me on an episode 1. That would have thrown us for a loop.
Oi, どこ行くんだよ?
We're going to sandwich spot. I remember we ate sandwiches here.
これじゃどんどん離れちゃってるぞ.
Or, I don't know if it was sandwiches. We just ate something.
黙ってついてくればわかりますから。
Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people. And not much moonlight. It was dark. If your friends give you mochi, what will you do? I mean, I don't know. I'm sticking pretty far away from mochi. I had some not too long ago, actually. It was pretty good, but I'm sticking pretty far away from mochi. That'd be me. You know, if someone was like, hey, I got you some mochi, I'd be like, nice. You made it yourself. Yes, I did. And we're going to play a game later. I'd be like, you want to go get hamburgers? But and then subtly drop them all over the floor. Be like, man, you know, I'd eat them, but I don't believe in the 5-second rule. Yeah. Throw it at a wall just in case, sure. Sure, sounds great. No sign of people and not much moonlight. It was dark. We'd gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people on the shrine grounds. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here?
そっか。どこか高いところがあるんだな。屋根の上とか、そういうところから見下ろそうって言うんだろう。
はい。なんで屋根に登んなくちゃいけないんです？
Don't throw hamburgers on the wall.
だってそうじゃなかったらどうやってリカちゃんの演舞を見るんだよ。
リカちゃまの演舞なんか見たかったんですか？
すごいです。
ケイちゃん、ひょっとしてストライクゾーンものすごく低くありません？
なんだか話が微妙に噛み合わないぞ。お前は俺をリカちゃんの演舞がよく見える場所に案内してくれるんじゃないのか？
はい。誰もそんな約束してませんよ。
It's a good face. Yeah. What's going on? That's a good face, thanks, Lucas. Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault? Am I just reading the wrong things into it?
じゃあ、お前は俺をなんでこんなところに呼び出したんだよ。
With an with an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is a dark, dead, empty spot. You can't see it from the festival grounds. And now a male and female at the same age are all alone together. Oh, sugoi desu. Could this be? Shion, she's not planning something crazy again, is she?"
あれを見てください。
Are we sneaking in on someone else's party? Shion whispered, pointing into the dark underbrush. And there we saw... maybe we should leave them be. 2 figures, 1 male and 1 female.
なんだありゃ。まさか。
密会の生現場に決まってるじゃないですか。
Why are we here?
ほらほら、よく見てください。あれ、誰だかわかります？
I peered intently into the dark at Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomatake and Tanko-san. Takano. The 2 of them were clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure no one knew they were there, as they crouched before the entrance to a wooden storehouse-like building. There's one place...
まさかシオン、これを見せたくて俺を呼んだのか?
There's one place I could explore further in Higurashi. Where would it be? Well, let me think for a second. The dam, of course, seems like an interesting place. just for the idea that abandoned structures are kind of interesting, if a little dangerous. But the damn like construction site sounds kind of interesting. I don't know how much they actually have there. I'm trying to think of like what else would be kind of cool. The school always seemed kind of neat. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just the outdoors in general. Of this village, that seems kind of cool. It seems like kind of peaceful, you know, walking around outside without cars everywhere. Keiichi's dad's studio does sound kind of cool, now that I think about it. I mean, if he's popular enough that he's supporting the family, then he must have some interesting stuff in there. Wait, Shion, could this be what you wanted to show me?
ケイちゃん、リカちゃまの演舞は毎年見られるけど、こういうのは二度とお目にかかれ
Can't
ま
see
せん
her
よ。
dance if you're dead. I thought the Sonozaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this, they seemed all too similar.
俺は帰るぞ。二度とこんなのに呼ぶなよな。
今動いたらバレちゃいますって。
I like her panicked face. At our noisy argument, Takano-san suddenly turned around.
あらあら、どなたかしら？
I can only see the dance of death once. We held our breaths and tried to wait it out, but it seemed like Takano-san was now acutely aware of our presence. Shion and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush.
どうもこんばんは。お月様の綺麗ないい夜ですね。あらあら、しおんちゃんに前原くんじゃない。こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
Get out of here, you're ruining our alone time.
おやおや、圭一君も隅に置けな
You
い
dropped the
ね。
camera too.
こんなところで二人っきりかい？だとしたら僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。
You're the ones who were meeting up secretly. Tomitaki-san and Takano-san laughed to themselves, and it got on my nerves for some reason. Yeah, it's Aunt Eva again.
富武さんたちは密会してたってわけじゃないみたいで
Aren't
す
you a
ね。
little old for this? Oh,
それはもちろん違うよ。
it's a pretty big age gap there.
そういうロマンスも嫌いじゃないけどね。
残念だけど、あなたたちが覗き見したくなるような面白い場面じゃないのよ。期待に添えなくて申し訳ないわね。そうじゃなかったら何してるんですか？富武さん、今扉の南京錠をいじってませんでした？
Huh? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again. Ah, this is the padlock that got changed out. Remember we were reading the notes? And there was some sort of like equipment for killing the people that was like locked in here, right? I think. Or at least we thought there might be some equipment for killing the people slowly in the bog, or in the marsh, or whatever it is in here. After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door, fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
バレちゃしょうがないな。僕たちが倉庫破りをしてたなんて内緒だよ。
内緒って、それ泥棒ってことですか？
Yes, and we're here to take pictures of the evidence as well. I demanded unthinkingly just because of how absently Tomitaki-san was grinning.
やあね。
Were those notes from Tomitaki-san then, I wonder? Because I can't remember exactly how they went. That's the thing, I'd love to be able to pull it back up and look at it, but if I remember right, the person writing the notes seemed almost detective-like, trying to find out, like, the secret, and it sounded like he was going to do it. Like, that he wanted to find this out. So I'm wondering if the notes were written by Tomitaki-san, and that's why he got killed last time, was maybe he was trying to do a similar thing and he got too close to the truth, perhaps? Or maybe everyone that gets killed just tries to break into this warehouse and dies. Who knows?
泥棒ってのは物を盗む人たちのことでしょ。別に私たちは物を持ち出そうとしているわけじゃないのよ。
へえ、じゃあ何のために鍵開けなんかしてるんですか？ここ開かずの細具殿ですよね。古出家とほんの一握りの人間しか入ることが許されないっていう。
Forbidden storehouse? I took a few steps back at that and looked on the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one, built removed from any signs of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened. And it was built to be durable, giving it a strange, overpowering impression. Now that I looked at it more closely, it was certainly different than normal warehouses.
ここはね、
Suspicious warehouse.
細具殿といってね、細具をしまっている倉庫なの。
Like drowning rituals?
いえ、細具を祀っている神殿と言ってもいいかもしれないわね。
Time to get out the drowning rituals again.
リカちゃんが奉納演舞で使っている祭事用のクワも今日までこの中にしまわれていたものよ。もちろん古出家の人間以外は不浄を持ち込むから立ち入り禁止の不可侵領域。
What's inside the storage?
聖域なの。
Probably death. Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression, an innocent smile at best, and a terribly cruel grin at worst.
私、ひなみ沢の昔語りや伝承を趣味で研究してるって言ったわよね。
I wonder if this is, I mean, obviously everything's linked to them not wanting the dam construction project to get run. But I wonder if it'd be something like they figured out that if the dam was built, that they would come across some ancient ritual grounds full of dead people or something. And so they didn't want that, so like, no, we don't want the dam to be built. Like, you know, their secret would be found out. That kind of thing.
私の知的興味のさまざまな答えがこの中に詰まってるの。この中に入れるチャンスを今日までずっと待ってたんだから。
A chance. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grounds today. This was the ultimate blind spot.
へえ、富武さんに鍵開けの技術があるなんて知りませんでした。
あ、よしてくれよ。僕だっていやいややってるんだよ。
付き合わせてしまってごめんなさいね。でも二郎さんのおかげよ。感謝してるわ。
やれやれ。でも高野さん、こういうのはこれっきりにしてくれよ。こういうところに黙って入り込むのはやっぱり気が引けるよ。
やっぱり二郎さんはいい人ね。
Clink. Tomitake-san undid the padlock and placed it to the side.
開いたよ。
You know, I was just thinking about, I was at work the other day, this is like 2 weeks ago or something, and someone lost the key to their locker, and we ended up, like, helping him get it open, and I ended up opening it with a hammer. Not the locker, the lock. Those tiny little locks suck. They do. Like, I think 3 hits to it and the lock popped open. So, yeah, don't buy tiny locks. That's the moral of the story here.
ありがとう。
So I'm the lockpick too, but I probably broke it, to be perfectly honest.
いよいよね。
Takano-san gulped. With an unusually excited air about her, she gave the heavy door a shove. The sharp smell of mold and dust flowed out from the gap in the doors. Yeah, it was a really cheap lock. So I ended up hitting like the main locky part where like the I don't know much about locks, the tumblers and stuff are at. and ended up just kind of forcing it open, I guess, with enough pressure. I'd claim curses didn't exist, but in this situation, I could believe in them. If we went into such a holy place with our shoes on, it feels like we could be punished somehow.
どう？
I mean, what about like a snake? They're gonna bite your shoe. Or lack of shoe.
あなたたちも共犯なんだし。せっかくだから一緒に見
Yeah,
学し
no,
な。
I'm great at opening locks. It only took 3 tries. Wasn't very quiet though. It was pretty loud.
ひなみ沢の皮脂を埋める
So,
貴重な文化遺産の見物会よ。
honestly, I was more worried about denting the crap out of the locker than the lock itself. I figured the lock would pop pretty easily, which it did.
今日だけの限定会館
It's like completely turning the story off of spooky, scary stuff and about breaking locks with hammers.
別に俺たち共犯ってわけじゃ。
面白いと思いません？
Yeah, I know. I wanted to see Rika dance. This sucks.
ねえ、覗いてみましょうよ。
Shion said, predictably, linking her arm with mine.
でもこれは絶対いけないことだよ。神聖な倉庫なんだろ。西宮殿って言ったっけ。ますます勝手に入っちゃまずいよ。
私は一応その崎の人間ですから、この中にあるものはおおよそ想像がついてます。
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a tiny lock. Sorry to keep going back to this thing, but my manager wanted to, like, we had a saw that was there from some construction project. My manager wanted me to start with that, and I'm like, let's not start with the saw. Which I'm glad, because I'm pretty sure we would have sawed open like 2 or 3 lockers during that.
でもそれはケイちゃんにも見てもらいたいものです。
俺に見てもらいたいもの。
I thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes look entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy too. My curiosity was at least twice that of a normal person. Sleeping forbidden treasures never to leave this warehouse. Chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then I want to see. Until the locked door is open, though. Whoops.
面白くないって思ったら、ケイちゃんはすぐに出ればいいです。きっと興味を惹かれると思いますけどね。
You're gonna regret this for the rest of your life as you sit around not having your friends try to kill you. Tomitaki-san spoke after listening to our discussion, himself having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest.
僕がここで見張っててあげるから一緒に見てきてごらん。僕はあまり趣味じゃないけど、圭一君みたいな若い男の子には結構面白いかもしれないよ。
He said, laughing mischievously. There was no ill will in his laughter.
富武さんはこの中に何があるのか知ってるんですか。
まあね。
He just doesn't want to get cursed is all. That's why he's staying outside.
高野さんにたっぷり聞かされてるからね。
相方の特殊な趣味に付き合わされる殿方も大変ですね。
Tomitaki-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she'd drop absolutely everything else for something she had an interest in and go straight for it, but Tomitaki-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter.
じゃあちょっとだけな。
Yeah, the bright side is Tomitake is alive, which is better than last arc. But the festival is not ended yet, so he could still die.
面白くなかったらすぐ出るぞ。
You got it! Shion gave me another Mion-like wink. Maybe this is Mion.
決まったみたいね。じゃあ行きましょうか。次郎さん、留守番をお願いね。
Tomitaki-san waved his hand to see us off. And that was the last time we ever saw him alive. Because we got killed for entering the ceremonial warehouse, I guess. The inside was pitch black, but Takano-san turned on the battery-powered lantern she brought, revealing a pretty cramped front room. Oh,
真
much
っ
better.
暗だね。みんな転ばないように気をつけるんだよ。
Like snakes. They're gonna eat your feet.
ご心配ありがとう。
Kidding, snakes don't eat your feet, usually.
じゃあ門番をよろしくね。ここ閉めるわよ。
Takano-san smiled spitefully, as if leaving Tomitake-san out of something fun, and began to close the door.
やれやれ。じゃあみんな、ゆっくり楽しんでおいで。
Because really big snakes eat alligators sometimes, so, you know, it could happen. You like the original background for these scenes better? How did they look? I imagine, because see, this looks pretty clean. It looks empty, but it looks pretty clean. I can imagine the original backgrounds looking a little dirtier. There was a, yeah, now we can never leave. There was a low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. It's like distorted photos of an old decrepit warehouse which is nearly pitch black. Yeah, I could see that. It is, I mean, even though it is, quote, dark, it's like colored dark. It's not really dark. You can still see it. It looks like it's a moonlit sky in here. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
大丈夫よ。予備電池も入ってるアウトドア仕様なんだから。冷えたりなんかしないわよ。
That's what you say right before it goes out. Looks like Takano noticed my uneasy expression. I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there was a heavy and old but sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was the last door sealing away what was within.
ただの倉庫なのに前室があるなんて変わってるでしょ。一度に1枚ずつ扉を出入りさせることによって西宮殿の中が外に見えないようにする工夫だと考えられるわね。
As you do with ritualistic warehouses. Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here. Huh? That, over there, it's... I spotted a circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wiring, clumsily attached to the wall.
あ、これ明かりのブレーカーかな
No,
んか
don't
じゃないで
touch
すか
that. That's the trap to kill the people that sneak in. I flipped the biggest switch I can find, and with a click, the pitch black room was illuminated by an old bare light bulb. Everyone scrunched up their faces at the sudden strobe-like brightness.
ダメです。
No, that's the trap. They get you with the big circuit breaker. Before she even finished, she unslapped my hand and flipped the switch back. There was another loud click, and the room returned to darkness with only the lantern for illumination.
いてててて。
ダメです、ケイちゃん。私たちここに
That's
忍び
their
込んでるん
security
ですよ。
system. And you fell for it, you idiot.
明かりなんかつけたらバレちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. Look at those, like, teeth. It's very, very angry, Shion. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light.
大丈夫よ。本当に一瞬だし。
I wonder. I'm kind of curious now. Can I do this? Can we... No, that's small. Big. Yes, big. Big Shion teeth. Bigger. I'm worried if I let go of this is going to be a pain in the butt to fix, so let's do that. Sorry. Big teeth. Yeah, now I see it on the stream. Takano-san remained a relaxed adult. It seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see us.
さあ入りましょう。よいしょっと。
The even heavier door opened, and this time it wasn't just the dust that came out with the air. There was also a nasty smell. Yeah, grr, angry teeth. One smell was like opening a dust-filled cupboard in the back of a kitchen that hadn't been opened in years. And the other smell, the nasty one, was hard to explain, but it was like a dead body, like the raw odor of a fish market. From how the sound echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. Takano-san held up her lantern and revealed the contents of the expansive room.
あ、
Whoa. They got some freaky stuff in here. At the back wall of the storehouse, right in front of us, was a Buddha-like holy object standing there looking down at us. I was taken aback by its unseen force, lit up by the slender beam of the lantern.
あれがひなみ沢の守り神、お社様よ。
Oh, what? Oh, the statue, right. Sorry.
社
Yeah.
にあるのよりずっと立派ですね。
Oyashiro-sama. So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa. The one guarding the Holy Land of Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempted to sully the land with the dam construction.
想像してたよりたくさんの細具が収められているようね。
Yeah, the room does look slightly 999-ish. I can agree. Though, I think it's a little bit big to be on a ship, maybe.
でも残念。
Do you mean Echo Mod? I had to stare at Beatrice's teeth.
どれもあまり手入れがされていないわ。状態が悪いのが悔やまれるわね。
Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceiling, and shelves. Takano-san, speaking as if in a trance, was infatuated by the various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festival-like or traditional, but instead this was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or a carpenter. Do carpenters normally have like torture chairs? And what is this thing? This like anchored spike thing down down I can't pull that in the right direction. Down there, and we got, what is that, like a mochi hammer looking thing? I don't know what that thing is. I'm experimenting with trying to move. This isn't super easy with this. I don't know. And then they got cages, presumably for people or something. There were a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty excuse me. It was all pretty boring stuff. Hold on. Let me clear my throat. Excuse me. Okay. I'd imagine there would be more artistic things in here from the Haitian period, but these are a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes, and they caught on right away.
あら、面白くないかしら？
俺は文系でも美術系でもないんで。
This bores Keiichi. I got something caught in my throat, so I had to cough for a second.
あんまりこういうのを見てもよく価値がわからないです。
圭一君はよくわかってないみたいね。無理もないけれど。
Takano-san reached into a paper bag that she'd been holding the whole time, took out a worn scrapbook and began to flip through it.
じゃあ、圭一君のために昔話でも聞かせてもらおうかしら。この地方では一般的な昔話よ。図書館に行けば教育委員会推薦の本にも載ってるくらいにね。
Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place? She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face belied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found fault with me being scared. I'll endure it for now and pretend to be calm.
いい？じゃあ、読むわよ。
After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly, like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book.
昔々、ある山奥の村にね、沼があったの。
Is this about the people drowning in the swamp again?
その沼はね、底なしの深い深い沼でね。
I don't want to hear the swamp story again.
地の底の鬼の国につながっていたんですって。
The rumors said that it was deeper than the ocean, and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, a bottomless swamp. Its name was Onigafuchi. Seems a bit strange because the picture here gives the wrong impression. Keiichi actually only sees a small part of the room right now. Ah, so is that why he doesn't seem to see the torture elements yet? Alright, fair enough. I can take that. Wait. I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifices sinking in the bottomless swamp. Could it be the swamp she's talking about?
ってことは、その村はひなみ沢ですね。
察しがいいわね。そうよ。当時は鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたけどね。
鬼ヶ淵村。物騒な響きのある名前だな。
イメージもあったんでしょうね。明治の頃に今の名前に改称されたって聞きました。
The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onigafuchi, which meant the demon's abyss. And the true name of this village, Hinamizawa, was Onigafuchi Village.
村人たちは鬼の国、つまりは地獄のことね。
I hate that, like, half a second cut in the loop of the song. It always bothers me every time I hear it.
鬼の国とつながるという沼を崇めながら過ごしてきたの。でもね、ある日のこと。
Demons began to appear, one after the other, from deep in the swamp. The villagers feared that hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do no more than hide themselves and tremble. It's a good CG, isn't it?
で、誰かが鬼を退治するわけですか？
残念だけど、このお話には桃太郎みたいな正義の味方は登場しないわ。
じゃあ、村を挙げて戦うわけですか？
まさか、村人たちに鬼と互角に戦える力などあるわけもない。
じゃあ、村を捨てて逃げるしかないですよね。
それも無理ね。村人たちにとっても村は大切な郷里だったから。どんな恐ろしい鬼が攻めてきたからといって簡単に逃げ出せるはずもなかったのよ。
じゃあどうするんですか？滅びるしかないじゃないですか。
They came up with the brilliant idea of drowning people. Maybe that would fix the problem. Unable to fight, unable to run. All they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Let's try drowning people. That's a cool trick. Then, when everyone had lost hope, their god, Oyashiro-sama, descended unto them.
なるほど。つまり天からやってきたお社様が鬼たちをやっつけ
I'm
るわ
gonna
けで
need
す
you
か。
guys to drown somebody.
ケイちゃんは男の子ですね。すぐに腕力で解決する方に走るんですから。
Shion sighed, a little annoyed. Embarrassed, I held my tongue.
お社様はね、やっつけるとかそういう暴力的な神様じゃなかったの。もっと優しい慈愛のある神様だったの。
The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from the heavens. The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from the heavens couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight. They simply prostrated themselves before his radiant authority. Oyashiro-sama urged them to go back to hell from whence they came, but the demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return.
鬼たちの世界にも厳しい戒律があってね。
He later returned and told a young girl to break windows with a baseball bat. That's right, Lucas.
彼らは地獄を追放された鬼たちだったんですって。
demons, who didn't have a place to go, either in hell or in the human world. Of course, they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were sorry.
村人たちも話を聞くうちに少しずつ気の毒になっていったわ。それでね、村のみんなで話し合った結果、
And they all lived happily ever after.
対峙するとか追っ払うっていう昔話は多いけど、共存ってのは確かに珍しいですね。
ですよね。鬼ってのは元来諸悪の象徴のはず。それとの共存を決めたというお話なんだから、本当に変わってます。
Like, you know, there's gonna be like people who are demon racists, and then there's gonna be like demons' rights, and it's gonna be a great future. When the demons first heard the villagers' invitation, they doubted their ears, but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that in payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of powers and secrets with the villagers. And everyone lived happily ever after.
その微笑ましい交流をとても喜んでね。
You can live over by the damn construction project.
鬼たちが村人と分け隔てなく暮らせるよう、
alright.
人間の姿を与えたんですって。
When the Onagafuchi swamp sends its demons, it's not sending its best.
そして自らも地上にとどまり、末永く両者の交流を見守ることにしたんだそうよ。
A land in which man, demon, and God live together. Demons should have the right to put needles in your food. I thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. A god may have mediated for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like that where both sides live in harmony. Maybe that's what we were attacked by last game. Not people, but demons. See? It makes it all better. Even though we clawed out our own throat. I see. I guess it is kind of interesting.
普通のおとぎ話ならここで終わりなんだけどね。
Are you clawing out your own throat? Oh, I think back to that sometimes.
このお話は江戸時代にだいぶ加筆されたみたいで、まだまだ続く随分と長い話になってるわ。
After that, the humans and demons intermixed, and eventually there was no difference between them.
鬼の存在は結局村に溶け込んで消えてしまったということですか？
いいえ、消えたりなんかしないです。半分はしっかりと残ってたそうですよ。
The knowledge the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people called transcendent. They were well aware the power they had was heresy, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out their lives in secrecy.
このお話がね、その後に派生するたくさんの昔話、フィクションの原点になってるの。だからこのお話がある意味基礎中の基礎。ベーシックね。
原点ってどういう意味ですか？
村人たちは鬼の血を引いているという部分ですね。つまりこの辺りに伝わるさまざまな伝承や昔話は全部その村の人たちは鬼の血を引いているというのが前提になっているんです。
Are you seriously being a demon racist just because they caused you to claw out your throat that one time? Think about the demon kids. There was a hint of amusement in Shion's face as she said that. It was like she wanted to say that she too had demon blood in her. Is there any proof though? Maybe it's somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tales.
あら、じゃあ前原くんは沼から鬼が現れて人間と交わったっていうのは本当にあった出来事だって信じてるのかしら？
信じないわけじゃないんですけど。
It's kind of weird. When she said demon, she meant the ones from hell, but in ancient Japan, the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use involves the drifting foreigner theory. As the story goes, Westerners who were shipwrecked in nearby seas had such markedly different customs that they were called demons. Well, this is an interesting, thought. I didn't know about this. Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different. Their physiques, their faces, and their skin colors. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that, that Japanese people were very xenophobic for a long time. I think they still are a little bit, but not nearly as much. The drifting foreigner being a street racer. Yeah, it's like initial D. So yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know that they would call them demons. I'm gonna have to think about that for a bit, because that kind of opens up some possibilities. It explains why they don't like people that aren't from the area, if that makes sense. In Japan, terms like red demon and blue demon evoke images especially of Westerners. Lacking in skin pigments, Westerners would sunburn easily and turn red. Being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing in their skin would look blue too. A handful of accidental aliens would drift into Japan and came under persecution, being called demons. They would flee into the mountains to survive, turn into bandit groups, and attack villages for food and the like.
なんて説はどうでしょう。ちょっと子供じみてますかね。
Takano gave me a weird smile when, having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis, I unconsciously followed it up with self-deprecation. Still, she didn't smile as if to make fun of me.
別におかしくないわよ。
They live inside a circle, they have the us and them mentality. At least that's what my Japanese teacher told me. I mean, that's my understanding, is that they didn't they didn't really open up borders until, historically speaking, relatively recently. With like the Western world. I don't know a ton about it, so I'm not like a teacher, but that's my understanding of it.
実際に漂流異人説を唱える人もいるもの。でも実際はどうなのかは誰にもわからない。山賊化した異人の集団だったのか、本当に地の底から来た鬼たちだったのかね。
じゃあ、高野さんはどっちを信じてるんですか？
真相は別にして、夢のある方を信じたいわね。その方が面白いでしょう。
Her answer made her sound a wee bit like a romanticist. Here, I thought she'd reject unrealistic stories like that.
さて、いよいよここからよ。面白くなるのは。
Takano-san brought an end to her storytelling and waits for a moment as if to tantalize us.
Huh?
Suddenly, Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro, like she was making sure nothing had changed.
どうしたシオン？
ごめんなさい。気にしないでください。
Oh, that's not suspicious. Oi! Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject.
村人たちに半分鬼の血が流れてるのは話したわね。
He's just sitting outside. Man, these people are taking a long time exploring this warehouse. Are they okay? And we're just in here reading stories.
実はその血なんだけど、鬼は鬼でも人食い鬼の血なんだって言われてるの。
人食い鬼ですか？急に物騒な響きになりましたね。
その血は今でも村人たちには脈々と流れていてね。
Spooky.
時折、
Oh.
その血が眠りを覚ますと言われてるわ。
See, that one music track that Lucas was saying was kind of scary or a little bit unnerving. That doesn't do it much for me, but this one does. This, that audio file or whatever that track is, that short little bit, that one kind of spooks me out a little. It depends on the scenario, I guess. But when you're in a spooky environment, yes. I thought the fairy tale had a happy ending, with the humans and demons living in peace. But it began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody story. As Takano-san explained it, those with demon blood in them periodically awaken to their instinct as hunters. So when this happens, it's said that they descended on the human villages looking for prey and conducted onikakushi.
何ですか? 鬼隠しって.
Yeah, that sound effect. that sting? That zing? What's the word? What's an onikakushi? Yeah, that's right. What is it?
鬼たちによる誘拐行為よ。
Oh, right, yeah, when they get demoned away. Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lose their human reason. The villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villages they loathe in the dirty world of the masses below. And then they kill and eat their sacrifices.
それじゃあ鬼と何ら変わりないじゃないですか。お社様はどうしたんです？その村にとどまって人々を見守ってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
もちろんお社様も了承してたそうよ。だから鬼隠しは無差別ではなく、神様が決めた生贄以外には誰もさらわなかったらしいし。
A village inhabited by those both human and inhuman. That sounds familiar. It was like the heat-warming episode's colors had inverted, like negative film, revealing the painful and the ugly truth.
そうして生贄をさらってきた夜にはね、綿流しの儀式が開かれたというわ。
Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me.
綿流しは確か冬の間に使った布団なんかに感謝するお祭りじゃなかったでしたっけ？
Clogging the waterways?
ケイちゃん、綿って言いません？臓物のこと。
Oh. So we clogged the stream with the dead people's entrails. That's kind of creepy. Why does that mean that? Okay. Shion, who had been silent until now, spoke up.
綿？そういえば言うな。魚の綿っていう。
Yeah, like fish guts.
え？
Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun times I had today and Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind.
綿流し。
You know, that's now that I know what that means. That's kind of a dark name for like a festival you have every year where you gather all around and you eat the mochis and the little the festival foods that the names escape me at the moment. I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating. Oh. Okay, this music is kind of gets me a little bit. Kind of that like clicking sound in the background. That one's a little spooky.
前原くんの想像している通りよ。今でこそ綿流しは毎年6月に行われるちょっと早い夏祭りに過ぎないけど、昔は違った。
It certainly wasn't the sort of event lively with street stands and festive chanting. It was more of a ghastly feast, the sort which would send a shiver down your spine and chill you to the bones. Wata basically means like entrails, yeah. Having a poor knowledge of Japanese certainly doesn't help sometimes. I guess, I guess it would have been a much more glaring clue to someone who had that knowledge.
嘘だ
I had no real reason to say that, but I couldn't help it. My fun memories from just a short while earlier swirled and blurred into noise, as if vanishing into a sandstorm. It felt like the name of the Higurashi had taken on a sticky, dark, shadowy aura, and was pressing down on my whole being, numbing my senses. My vision had turned gray, sapped of color, and everything looked like it was spinning dizzily.
ではリカちゃんがやった奉納演舞を思い出した
Oh, is this the part where like you use the hoe and you drive it into the people and it makes the guts come out? Is that what's going on there?
リカちゃんがあそこで何をしていたか
I don't know, maybe if I would have seen it, I would have known what she was doing up there.
わからねえよ第一リカちゃんの
Yeah, I
演
know,
舞
it's
は最後まで
terrible.
ちゃんと見てないし
You wouldn't even let me watch it, Shion.
ケイちゃんエキサイトしすぎです
Excito? Shion grabbed one of my ears, reminding me that this wasn't somewhere I should raise my voice. Even so, I still can't suppress this agitation I feel.
リカちゃんが持っていた祭事用のクワもううすうすは気づいてると思うけどあれは田
For
畑を
plowing
耕す
people.
クワではなくて
That sounds a little dirty. They're entrails. I don't know about this. Takano-san cut off with a smirk. Did she mean to say that despite being a hoe, it actually serves as a sharp-bladed tool? I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I don't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I'd left. When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said, after what I'd seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futons with that hoe, cut them open, and pull out the cotton inside. She'd cut the cotton out one bit at a time and set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was. At Takano-san's strangely happy giggle, I felt, for some reason, violent displeasure. Rika-chan. Every day during her lunch break, she'd take a rice pounding mallet into the schoolyard, and she'd work so hard, sweating bullets, to practice for the offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work, Takano-san disgraced it, even though she worked so hard to practice for today.
高野さんももう少し言葉を選んでほしいです
Furuta Erika investigates the Hinamizawa murders.
ケイちゃんナイーブなんですからあまりからかわないでください
Oh, there's, I can zoom in on this one a bit. Yeah, there's slightly, not disappointed, but serious Shion face. Wish I could zoom a little bit easier. This isn't easy to do with this. A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how that story made me feel.
ごめんなさい男の子だからショッキングな話は結構好きかと思って
Takano-san spoke without a hint of malice as she smiled gracefully.
この辺まで話を聞けばケイちゃんにもこの細具殿の中にどういうものがあるのか
Clearly
理
not,
解
he's
で
an
きるよう
idiot.
になってきませんか
Even though the background shows everything.
ほら
Shion pointed out one of the walls, vaguely illuminated by the lantern's light. There was a support pillar. Mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. I hate support pillars. All those uninteresting tools that I didn't understand how to use. They all suddenly took on a new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first they had looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these sorts of tools before. Yeah, They came up in a Japanese history textbook. Yes, on the page introducing the Kaitai Shinsho, or the new text on autonomy. Anatomy? These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools. They're for dissection. Anatomy? I think it's anatomy. Hold on, let me look back at that. Anatomy. Dang it. I messed that one up bad. Everyone knows that in the Edo period, they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustrations of the dissection tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplements. The things hung up on this wall all looked exactly the same as those. Takano-san, holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her whether I liked it or not. Takano-san illuminated a coiled chain, which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain in itself was nothing unusual, but further along it were metal fetters that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people. It's a little spooky.
Kei-chan.
Oh, yes. Shocked face. There we go. Just gotta get a good zoom in on the faces now that I can. Now that I'm thinking about it.
あれ
No, look at this art. This is a good one. Hold on, how do I hide text box? There we go. Let's take a look at this. So, Takano is. I like this. I like this CG. I actually kind of like these Shion CGs. They're kind of cute. And then Keiichi just looks like generic anime character number 28. I mean, for real. He's even wearing an orange shirt. That's like generic anime middle schooler, right? Orange tank top? Definitely. Shion tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to a restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. My spine froze. You like Keiichi's tank top? I mean, it's cool, but it's generic anime middle schooler boy character shirt. My blood felt like it was turning into sherbet as it crawled up my back. On each of the joints, there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them in. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it, as though from a knife or a saw. They were the most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved that these tools weren't just for show. They were used for their original purpose. Is he a high schooler? Oh, he is a high schooler, that's right. I mean, he's not like... Yeah, we haven't seen much of Keiichi. I think the last time I remember really seeing him was when he was in his room and Rina was, like, behind him on the other side of the wall, I think. We might have seen him since then. There might have been another CG, but that's the last time I really remember. But, he's a high schooler, but he's not like 12th grade high schooler. He's like 9th grade high schooler, like barely into high school, right? At least that's kind of what I was gathering. Maybe like 10th grade. If someone was strapped tightly onto this table, they probably wouldn't be able to even move a muscle. Their guts would be Your guts are defenseless. You'd take one of those eerie cooking knives lined up over there, stab them with it, and then you'd slice open their bellies and dissect them?
話には聞いてたけど、すごい。
Before coming in here, Shion had mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside, but it seemed to have exceeded her imagination.
まだまだあるわよ。
Oh, nice.
どう？
You're a little weird, Takano.
老人形館より面白いでしょ。
Can you stop talking with a face like that? That's a little weird. Takano-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. This Mio Takano person has nerves of steel. Keiichi didn't get a sprite originally until episode 5. So what happened in these scenes then in the original art? Was it just you didn't get these CGs, you just had like a room still? Or did it just not include Keiichi? Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I, for one, was not enjoying myself. I'll be frank. Oh, there were no CGs, so it's just like the same backgrounds as the rest of the game. I gotcha. This was all too weird to me, for me. Still, there was something even more horrifying than all of this. That would be none other than Takano-san herself, I agree. Takano-san holding the lantern giving off such a thin beam of light. If she suddenly turned it off, then what would I do when, the next moment, everything went totally dark? That's why I was scared. Ah, they're both in on it, Keiichi. That's why they didn't want you to turn on the circuit breaker. Keiichi's apparently 16. So that would put him in like 15 or 14-year-old. That would... No, what am I? Oh, I'm an idiot. No, she's 16. That would put him in like 10th or 9th grade, right? I think. That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light. And anyway, I was scared. At some point, Shion had started holding onto my shirt sleeve. What shirt sleeve? You have no shirt sleeves! Sorry. If most of these characters are still alive, they'd be in their 50s. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally, here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air I felt on my skin changed completely. Do we know Shion and Mion's birthdays? Is that like some deep lore that I don't know? I need to know this. These cruel tools lined up, all crammed together in this place. You know, okay, like, I'm joking about it, but for real, if you wanted to lure or if you wanted to get someone into your torture chamber, the easiest way would be to make them walk in themselves, right? And if Shion and Takano-san are in this together, along with, I guess, other people, obviously. July 10th? Okay. Along with other people, well, they've got him right in here. Switch off the light, strap him to the table. Everyone's busy at the festival, so no one's gonna notice Keiichi being gone, probably. I think it was revealed in supplementary material. These cruel tools lined up, all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones made to take away sacrifices' freedom, and some were tools made to efficiently disassemble and prepare the bodies for consumption. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange-looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details about what sort of terrifying reasons they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were, obviously, constructed in such a way that they could kill people. I just glanced over that. Hold on. Tools to kill people were obviously constructed in such a way that they could kill people. If that was the goal, then the person you used them on would obviously end up dead. Yeah, sorry about the late stream for those of you that are in much later time zones. I know it's a bit rough. Feel free to watch it tomorrow, is what I'll say. But thanks for coming, as you did. I do appreciate it. Have fun with spooky shrine storage adventures. Thanks. The kinds of tools here, however, were different. The tools that were here were for cutting people, for crushing them. People are kills when you use killer tools on them. For boiling them and cooking them. And for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. Hold on. I think I can do this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just zoom in on that face real good. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. Sorry. Actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrifying ritual process, that would be nice, but maybe they killed them till they were dead. They don't even die in the end. They remain in a state of hellish pain. Perhaps they were only being allowed to live. Only now, in this moment, did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was.
人ってね
It's 3:20 there? Oof, it's only like 9 p.m. here. I try not to stream past midnight if I can. I get a bit too tired.
上手にやると結構殺さずに済むものらしいの
Takano-san, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking smile. She described such horrors in a strangely medical way. Well, I mean, she is a nurse, right? Shion immediately answered the question I had.
高野さん、看護師さんですから。
Ignore loud noises, that is, neighbors. Apparently, like, I don't know, playing football? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Falling on the ground? There's a saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess it's true. Takano-san, having realized she'd shared Shion and I enough at this point, smiled soothingly. Is that a soothing smile? Then she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we'd get even further away from the light. Shion and I, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along on her field trip through the ritual storehouse. Man, those guys sure are taking a long time in
こ
there.
れで軽く一周できたかしらね面白いところでしょ
She says, raising the lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason it felt like I was able to see all of those horrible tools at once.
ケイちゃん、
Scared face. Shion stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck. Ugh. Spookiness. I couldn't tell because it was so dark, but there were loud noises, a lot more tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They all looked like they were made of iron bars. But then I figured it out. Cages. For cages, they were very small. Cramped cages just for one, like a casket. If you got locked up in there, no, you wouldn't get locked up inside it. It was another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. All the so many big and large things of all shapes were hanging down. Takano-san's mention of execution by grilling crosses my mind. Dinner's almost ready, boys. We weren't just surrounded on all sides by these terrifying instruments. Things crowding the ceiling were even hanging over our heads.
これで前原君にもなんとなく信じられるようになったん
Burn
じゃ
down
な
the
いかし
warehouse
ら
and get out of here, boys.
ひなみ沢に伝えられる恐ろしい儀式の数々が。
Dad, I want to leave. This place is weird. It's got nothing to do with believing in them. Now that I've been shown the real thing like this, there's no possible way to deny it. Even the nations of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. Didn't it have its own era of hellscape-like torturous feasts because of the religious suppression and things of that nature? Hinamizawa itself had such a period. It had that much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunts, that was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events. And in this age, nothing that abnormal would ever happen. That must apply to Hinamizawa as well.
中世の暗黒時代とかがそうだったように、ひなみ沢にも暗黒時代があった。そういうものなんだと解釈します。本当にひなみ沢でこういう恐ろしいことがあったのだとしても、それは大昔の出来事なんです。今暮らしているひなみ沢の人々とは何の関係もないことです。
前原くんは本当にひなみ沢が好きなのね。
Eva, please. I don't like that voice. It didn't sound like she was making fun of me. Takano-san gave me a light smile.
でも高野さんはその風習が実は
Serious
現
face.
代にも残っているんじゃないかと思って研究をしてるんです。そうでしたよね。
Spooky. Shion suggested something that made my heart leap into my throat. Are you telling me that all these horrible things are still going on even today?
これ本当に内緒なんだからね。
Okay, guys, don't tell anybody.
しおんちゃんは理解のある人だから話したけど、他の村人には聞かれたくないの。下手をしたら罰当たり者ってことで袋叩きにされかねないんだから。
Shion flashed a devilish smile, as if reveling in the immortality of it.
前原くんも内緒にしてね。知られたら私、お社様のたたりに遭うか、生贄にされちゃうかするかもしれない。たたりなら、今年はどんな死に方をさせられちゃうのかしら。そういえば今夜よね。お社様のたたりがある夜は。
Takano-san said, bring your face right up close to ours. As if to say that if she had the choice, she'd rather suffer the curse. That was what she seemed to be implying. Takano-san took a fairly worn notebook out of her paper bag, then began to flip through its pages. There were all sorts of references and newspaper clippings attached to them, and it had all manner of things written inside. The letters were very small and bunched together, so I couldn't tell at a glance what it was about.
本当は国会図書館で当時の新聞を探したいんだけどね。ほら、ここ。
A photocopy of a page from some book was slid into the notebook, and it too was written in small, tight lettering. Like the other pages, I couldn't tell what it was about just by glancing at it.
これは実際にあったお話よ。明治の終わり頃にね、鬼ヶ淵村で身元不明の惨殺死体が発見されたんですって。
An old newspaper clipping attached to the page spoke of something that was no mere rumor or fairy tale.
当時の警察の資料がほとんど残ってないそうだから、口伝と記憶によるものだけなんだけどね。ほら、これ不鮮明だけど、明治の頃の新聞の切り抜きみたい。
Never before has there been a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity. Could it be the work of a demon? Being a copy of a copy, it was very hard to make out, but it was more than enough to make me feel strangely tense. Near the end of the Meiji era, in old Onagafuchi village, a mangled corpse was discovered. The identity of the corpse was unknown. It wasn't even in a state where it could be identified in the first place. It was missing a head, and each limb was separated from the body. Skin had been peeled off the entire body, and there were markings that implied terrible torture in every place imaginable. Not only that, but the belly had been cut open by a sharp knife, with the entrails completely dragged out. The police immediately began an investigation, but since they couldn't even determine the identity of the victim, much less the criminal, finding answers was extremely difficult. Oh, it's a little close there. I couldn't imagine such a strange sight, even if I tried. This was the first time I was ever thankful for my lack of imagination. The victim surely wasn't allowed to go peacefully. On the contrary, they most likely had to watch the whole process before finally being extinguished. What if that was me? I couldn't even imagine it. And I didn't want to either. As my brain was already far over capacity, however, there was no way I could imagine anything more brutal. Then when I broke my gaze from Takano-san's, those strangely shaped weird tools were all around us. I wonder if you could faithfully reproduce the... I'm sure you could. The mutilated corpse discovered at the end of the Meiji era, with the tools found in this place. I want to deny it. I don't want to admit that something so terrible could have happened at all. Even so, they were so strange, so terrifying. These tools, as if they had seen through my attempt to escape from them, they did nothing but ridicule me silently.
その薄気味悪い事件が何だって言うんですか？
筆者はね、鬼ヶ淵村の恐ろしい習慣は明治以降の近代。ひょっとすると昭和初期くらいまでは残ってたんじゃないかって結んでるわ。
This corpse, at a glance, appeared to have been brutally killed after a period of torture. In actuality, however, it was the pitiful sacrificial remains of the man-eater's terrifying feast. The corpse was just leftovers. It was so fantastic, so strange, that it didn't feel real. Was this an extension of the legends too? It happened in the Meiji era though, which is just too recent to be called a legend. Also, there's a newspaper clipping right here suggesting it.
でも本当にあったとしたって昔のことですよね。明治なんて言ったらそれこそ100年くらい前の。
たったよ。たった100年前のことよ。それにね、昭和に入ってからだってあるんだから。終戦直後に騒ぎになった缶詰疑惑。あ、ごめんなさい。
Wait, what? Sorry, I was glancing at chat about something about desperate housewives. And then post-war canned flesh incident.
この話はタブーだったわよね。
Takano-san immediately stopped talking as if worried about Shion. Shion briefly looked somewhat angry, but that expression soon disappeared.
え？今高野さん
What
なん
did
て
you
言いまし
just
た？
mention about canned flesh?
缶詰疑惑って。
It's delicious. Just then, there was a huge creaking noise. Everyone whipped around to look. Tomitake, you're supposed to be keeping watch. It was Tomitake-san who had opened the door slightly. Oh, you're not dead. Good.
驚かせちゃったかな。
あら、 二郎さんも見たくて我慢できなくなったかしら。
僕は遠慮させてもらうよ。生来ね、こういうのは苦手なんだ。
Takano-san held her stomach and had to muffle her laughter as if she wanted to make a comment about his masculinity.
それより演舞とセレモニーが終わってみんな沢の方に降りていったよ。あと何分もしないうちにお祭りは終わっちゃう。
あら、いけない。前原くんがあまりにも聞き上手だからまたお話三昧になっちゃったわ。
I'd really rather you not mention me in a place like this.
二郎さんは表で待っててくれるかしら。私はちょっと写真を撮るわね。本当はいくつか道具を持って帰りたいんだけど、それはさすがに無理そうだからね。
Takano-san took a camera out of her paper bag and began to snap photographs. She looked like she was having fun, like she was on a scavenger hunt.
ケイチ君も出るかい？
もう十分に見ましたので。シオン、もういいだろう。出ようぜ。綺麗な空気が吸いたいよ。
同感です。出ましょう。
I did feel a bit of hesitation at leaving Takano-san by herself in this darkness. When I thought about it, though, I realized that whatever kinds of evil spirits and ghosts lurked in the darkness, none of them could hold a candle to how scary she was. Even if a phantasm were to appear, she'd be overjoyed and flash her camera at it. Back to happy music. It seemed like Shion shared my somewhat rude mental images. We exchanged glances and smiled painfully. We left Takano-san there, bathed in her strobe of camera flashes, and decided to go leave the ritual storehouse. This is like we're going back into town and getting ice cream music. This isn't like creepy storehouse in the middle of night music. Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone to the stream, so their voices were very distant. The voices of the bugs, on the other hand, were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to the place.
どうだい？面白かったかい？
Tomitake-san gave us a somewhat mischievous grin. He should have been able to tell by looking at how pale our faces were.
富武さんと一緒に留守番をしてればよかったです。
Tomitake-san laughed so delightfully that it wiped away our dark feelings.
シオンちゃんはどうだったかな？怖かったかい？
一応心の準備があった分怖くはなかったですけど、でもやっぱり実物は迫力あります。
Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing as how I was in way worse a state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. As Tomitake-san grinned candidly, my mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself.
高野さんはおとなしく見物してたかな？ほら、彼女子供っぽいところがあるだろう？宝の山を前にさぞや興奮してたんじゃないかと思ってね。
Both Shion and I laughed, and left that as our answer.
見るだけならいいんだけどね。こっそりと何かを持ち出したり、いじくりすぎて細具を壊したりしないかが心配なんだよ。
Right, that's quite possible. She is alone in there right now. She might pilfer something small and easily concealed, hiding it in her pocket.
やりかねないです。
Shion said what I was thinking.
本当に何も壊したりしなかったかな。なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえたからね。僕は不安で。
ごめんなさい。フィルムがなくなっちゃったわ。二郎さん、フィルムが余ってたら分けてくれないかしら。
Takano-san suddenly appeared while we were walking about her, taking everyone by surprise. Tomitake-san smoothly grinned, and responded as if nothing had happened. He's pretty mature.
あ、 もう予備のフィルムは切れちゃったよ。申し訳ないね。
もういついかなる時でもフィルムを残しておかないと決定的スクープ写真なんか撮れないわよ。仕方ないわね。
Tomitake-san scratched his head apologetically. Without film, we're done here. Takano-san seemed to have given up because of that too. We checked carefully to make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned to the heavy padlock we'd left beside it.
高野さん、何も持ち出してないだろうね。
失礼ね。そこまで子供じゃないつもりよ。
Kerclack! Tomitake set the padlock back to the way it was before. From a cursory glance, it didn't look like thieves had snuck in at all.
よし、僕たちも沢に行こう。綿を流すところくらいやらないとお祭りに来た意味がないよ。
Tomitake-san spoke brightly, urging us all on, setting cotton afloat down the stream. I shook my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. Takano-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse. Gonna leave now while the happy music's playing? Alright. Fair enough.
もうこれっきりにしてくれよ。十分に知的好奇心は満たせただろう。
I kind of feel like Shion might die too. That's the other thing I thought about. She's kind of an outsider. A little bit. So she might die too. That could be a possibility.
まさか。むしろ新しい興味を惹かれるような発見ばかりよ。今日のでこれまでの仮説が一気に現実になったわ。これで今後の調べ方がだいぶ変わってくるんだから。
Wow. She's truly indomitable. Domitable. Her curiosity really is something else. Still interested in all this, through and through. We descended the stone stairs, and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see people receiving cotton that had been cut out for them, then wishing upon the cotton and setting it afloat down the stream. The festival was already over.
まずったな。綿流しの一番いいところを撮影し損ねたよ。
あら、まだ遅くないわよ。私が行って流すんだから。私を撮ってはくださらないのかしら？
Takano-san, with an impish expression, brought her head to Tomitake-san's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for Tomitake-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of women. Of a woman? Handful of a woman.
じゃあね、前原くん、しおんちゃんも。
僕たちは今からでも沢に行ってみるよ。君たちも一緒に来るかい？
まさか。
Yeah, no, Takano has Tomitake wrapped around her finger for sure.
お二人の邪魔なんてできません。どうぞごゆっくり。
Teeth. Shion waved her hand to them with an expression just as impish as Takano-san's. Tomitake-san, on his part, seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps.
疲れちゃいました。
同感だな。俺も疲れた。
ケイちゃんは綿流し初めてなんですよね。
And your last.
私なんか気にしないで行ってきてください。私は疲れちゃったんで、人混みはちょっとパスしておきます。
Yeah, if we were to go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony.
お姉たちがケイちゃんのことを探してるかもしれませんから、行ってきてください。
あ、そうだ。ミオンたちと別れたままそれっきりだったな。探してると悪い。
Then Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face, then put her index finger to her lips as if telling me to keep this a secret.
お姉ってすっごく嫉妬深いんです。
I noticed.
私がケイちゃんを独占してたことがバレると、いろいろうるさいんで、今夜のことは秘密にしておいてくださいね。
Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing.
そういう意味だけじゃないですよ。今夜私たちがしたことを思えば秘密にするのは当然です。今夜起こるかもしれないお社様のたたり、私たち4人が最有力候補なんですからね。
The loosening threads of tension became taut again. Shion, however, burst out laughing.
じゃあ私はお姉に出くわす前に退散します。今日は本当に疲れてるからお
She's
姉
gonna
とや
die.
り合えるだけの体力はない
Alright,
で
I'm
すし。
pretty convinced. Yeah, she's gonna die.
シオンってミオンと仲がいいのか悪いのかよくわからないな。
仲いいですよ。
Though as she said that, her vague expression explained that there are a lot of oddities in a relationship between twins.
俺は一人っ子だからよくわかんないな。せいぜい仲良くしろよ。
はい、余計なおせっかいと受けたまわります。それじゃあ私はこの辺で。ケイちゃんも急いで行った方がいいですよ。本当に綿流しが終わっちゃいます。
Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony of the Watanagashi festival below me.
でも本当にあの音は何だったんでしょうね。不愉快というか気味が悪いというか。
What sound? The creaking sound?
え
Uh-oh.
何の音だって？
Oh. Spooky sounds?
音ですよ。
Oh, this, like she reacted to something and said never mind.
ドタンバタンって。うるさかったじゃないですか。
I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her too.
ごめんシオン、はしょらないで最初から説明してくれないか。何がうるさかったって？
ケイちゃん気にならなかったんですか？
And it turns out the scariest thing of all was that Kei-chan is hearing loss. When all's said and done, it was like we were speaking two different languages.
シオン、冗談抜きで初めから説明してくれないか。音がどうしたって？
ケイちゃんこそ冗談抜きで本当に気にならなかったんですか？
Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were staring at the other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held in the urge to shout at her, and asked politely one more time.
もう一度聞くからな。質問は俺からだ。
Shion nodded silently.
じゃあ聞くぞ。音がしたって何のことだ？
ドタンバタンって
Batam, batam.
なんだかどこか遠くの板の間で子供が跳ねてるような。
Didn't Tomitaki-san mention that at some point? Like it sounded like she was jumping up and down for joy or something?
本当に気にならなかったんですか？
I think.
気にならないも何も。そんな音いつ聞こえた？俺は何も聞いてないぞ。
ちょっとケイちゃん、
Surprise face.
それ本気で言ってるんですか？
She does have really animated faces, so I do kind of like her faces. Shion, as if she didn't understand my plain and simple answer, pressed me further, her expression serious. I have no clue what she's talking about. But if it is Shion acting so like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine.
さっき最後殿の中で高野さんと一緒に見てもらってる最中。
okay. So Tomitake heard the sound, Shion heard the sound. Don't know if Takano heard the sound, but we didn't hear the sound. Clearly.
高野さんが昔話を始めた頃からかな。少しずつだんだんとちょくちょくと。
She heard a banging sound, like a child jumping on distant floorboards.
嘘だろ？最後の最後で怖がらせるのはなしだぜ、おい。
I didn't hear anything at all. In fact, it was so utterly silent in there that my own heartbeat was almost deafening. Maybe that's what it was. It was your heartbeat.
怖がらせないでください。
Maybe they're all in on it and they're trying to convince Keiichi that he needs to go to the hospital to get his ears checked, and then Takano-san's going to check it and then she's going to murder him. How's that for a theory?
なんだか高野さんの怖い話に合わせて音を立ててるようで、私ずっと薄気味悪かったんですから。
The chill rose from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body. When it reached my head, my mind froze over.
ケイちゃんも高野さんも全然意にも介さない風だったので、私も聞こえないふりをずっとしてましたけど、聞こえましたよね。何度かはすごく大きな音でしたから。
Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I'd heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different. You've got to be kidding me, look. In that storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet, listening to terrifying old stories. The whole time, Shion had been hearing a sound that we couldn't hear by herself. Should that make Shion, who heard it, tremble? Or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at the time. For now, Shion seemed to have made that decision before I did. Never mind. I'm crazy. Do you like my big face? I'll make it bigger.
嘘ですよ。
Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile seemed somehow artificial, and actually made me feel worse. Then after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left, almost like she was running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. That laugh was a bit too long and awkward. Yeah, at the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she'd been lying, but she couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. And now that I think back, Tomitake-san said the same thing, didn't he?
なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえたからね。僕は不安で不安で。
Tomitake-san, the most neutral party present at the time, had said he'd heard something. Then that noise, it was real? The banging sounds. Sounds as though a child was jumping up and down on some kind of floorboards far away. Oyashiro-sama's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano-san, Tomitake-san, Shion, and me. The bustling of the people sounded further away than I would have liked, and the sounds of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and yet I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then, all of a sudden, I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lurch. Oh no, I'm dead now. It was Rika-chan. When I turned around, Mion and Rena were there too.
やっと見つけた。あとはさとこか。今年はみんなはぐれちゃったね。来年からはちゃんと合流場所を決めておきたいな。そうだね。やっぱりお祭りはみんなと一緒でないとね。
I listened to Mion's happy declaration with a bit of guilt.
ケイイチは僕の演舞はちゃんと応援してくれましたですか？
Do it again.
ああ、ちゃんと見てたぜ。 最後までちゃんと頑張ったな。ミスもなかったし。
そうだよリカちゃん、あんなのはミスのうちに入らないよ。
I tensed up as I realized I made a mistake on my own. Made note of the noise when you read this part. Mion slapped a hand onto my shoulder a little roughly. A gross sweat broke out over my whole body.
ケイちゃんはやった？綿をもらって沢に流した？
Yeah. Obviously. You haven't yet, right? Is what I can feel her saying. Uh-oh. We got the creepy Mion face coming back. Without the courage to tell any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head.
あれ？そうなのケイチくん。早く行かないと終わっちゃうよ。
ごめん。初めてのお祭りだからさ。よくルールがわからなくて。
そうだったね。ごめん。
Mion took my hand, and we started walking down the stone steps.
ねえケイちゃん。
なんだよ。
シオンには会わなかった？
Who's Shion? My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion could sense my surprise through my hand.
いや、でも、姿を見たような。
Here, I'll just intervene really quick. Make sure. I don't think I put it in the thing, but make sure to use route13.com for spoilers. I should have put that in the description, but seeing as far as we are, I'm not going to bother.
でも、ミオンとそっくりだからな。ミオンだったのかもしれないし。
そんなに間違えないでしょ？服装だって違うんだから。
そうだよな。
Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me.
しょうがないな、シオンは。まあ、あいつのことだから、放っておいても大丈夫かな。
Mion's expression returned to her former, usual smile, and we continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. That's not going to come back later, I'm sure. Definitely not. And some more tips. So it looks like we're almost done with the stream. We'll read these and then be done, I think. Plumbing the depths. Alright. And I think the scrapbook, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the same scrapbook notes we were reading last time. So this is part 4, I think. Watanagashi. The rite of Watanagashi is performed during a village festival every June, even now. But reading back to its origin, turns up a seriously sanguine ceremony. Originally, Watanagashi would happen at fixed intervals, and after receiving Oyashiro-sama's trust, they chose a sacrifice. Then the entire village would kidnap, demon away, the person and ceremonially dissect and devour them in a feast. The rules that determine the intervals are shrouded in mystery. This is because the ceremonies occurred extremely irregularly. There's a theory that it was determined based on an astrological fortune-telling, but it isn't too convincing. The residents of ancient Onigafuchi village firmly believed that they were half-man, half-demon transcendents, and that they were more valuable than humans were, and they forced people within and without to accept that. Perhaps the act of kidnapping and eating people was done to prove that they were higher up on the food chain. This is just a hypothesis, but maybe the rite of Watanagashi was a political event for the purpose of either being an outlet for, or outright diverting the attention of, the villagers of the isolated Onigafuchi village. in case any of their complaints or dissatisfactions grew serious. If that was the main reason these ceremonies were held, then it's easy to explain how erratic they were. Yeah, these are pretty short. Alright, and part 5. I think we're gonna get in trouble. I think we're really in trouble. Now that I'm thinking about that Mion bit right there that we had. The alleged importance of the implements. I can't find anything that gives a concrete description on what the ritual implements were like. They were, however, real, and there definitely existed a multitude of different kinds. This might actually be Takano-san's notebook now that I'm thinking about it. It's not a... Why am I forgetting his name? You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, this might be Takano's notebook. I'm thinking Jiro-san, but that's not the name we normally call it. Tomatake, there we go. One source states that the implements used in the Watanagashi rite alone numbered 200. The obvious question, then, is why they required such a myriad of them. The rite of Watanagashi was to kidnap people through the demoning away, dissect them, and eat them. I believe the tools were for dissection and restraining, but 200 of them is far too many. Generally, tools evolve in such a way as to reach a solution for a certain problem. Once you've reached the ultimate goal, that is, attained a certain level of efficiency, the tool's evolution normally stops there. Regardless, why would they have created so many different kinds? One of the cultural elements responsible for diversification over time is that of entertainment. Tools used for entertainment would evolve over time and branch out. Unlike normal tools, reaching the ultimate goal would be more of a dead end, and in searching for the next goal they would split into many different subtypes. So then, perhaps it's not a stretch to suggest that these 200 plus implements had some entertainment value. This is just a hypothesis, of course, but maybe the human dissection process was viewed as a type of entertainment. The three families of old would develop one new implement, dissection tool, after another, and each was varied, novel, and attracted spectators to keep them from growing bored. It's not unimaginable. All of them have to be enshrined within that storehouse. There isn't much longer until the night of the Watanagashi. Though its original intent has been lost, I will reveal the secrets of the traditional ceremony night within the ritual storehouse. I can't restrain my excitement. Watanagashi cannot come soon enough. Okay, so it is either... It is one of the two, but... I'm pretty sure it's Takano. Because she seems far more excited about it. She seems far more excited about it. And after the festival at school, I think? Or where is this? This might be the police department. It's a police department. Late that night, tensions in the police station were strained. In the silence, many of the staff members' eyes shifted back and forth between the clock and their telephones, counting the seconds in that stifled the atmosphere. Gaya-kun burst in with a young guy trailing behind him.
Oi-san! こっちは検視入りました。じいさまもさっき到着です。
So I'm assuming you guys found a body?
俺もスタンバイ OK しました。このまま焼死の現場へ直行します。
熊ちゃん、ちょっと話がややこしくなりました。向こうは身元の判別が非常に困難な状態だそうです。
まさか4年前のあれっすか？
いいね。こんがりといい感じだそうだ。
Delicious. Having barbecue tonight, boys. He spoke in sportive tones, but the meaning behind his words was heavy. The staff gave a collective sigh.
頭のてっぺんから丸々？
バッチリ黒焦げだそうで、あっちの現場かわいそうだな。
cooked, with no possessions, then discarded outside the prefecture. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to be identified. The fact that they'd sniffed it out tonight was huge.
今、小宮山君たちが沖宮の司会を根こそぎ野襲してます。カルテで歯型照合するしかないでしょう。ごめん、誰かきつめのタバコ2箱ぐらい買ってきてくれません？
The young guy answered in affirmation and darted out into the hallway.
今年は見事見つけましたね。ひょっとすると過去の失踪者もこんな感じで県外で殺されてたんですかね。
なら埋めればいいじゃないですか。重りつけて日本海でも。
でもどうして一人死んで一人消えるのがこれまでのパターンじゃないですか。
クマちゃん、仏は拘束なしでドラム缶の中でこんがりでしょ。多分締められた後にわざわざ焼いたんじゃないかと思うんですよ。
Perfectly fried to a crisp. Yum.
見つかることを覚悟の上でです。
じゃあつまり今年は消す気は初めからなかったってことっすか。
消す気がないってよりは、これはそれとは全く別のものでしょうね。消すどころか主張しているようにすら感じられますよ。
つまり見せしめの意味があるってことっすか。
He folded his arms and then heaved a long and heavy sigh.
それをしないでやってくれりゃその線もあるんですがね。こんな遠くまで運んで焼いちゃったら下手したら分かんないでしょう。見せしめにするならひなみ沢の近くでやるべきなんですよ。殺したことを主張したいのに場所は演出効果の確実じゃない遠方。主張したいのか隠したいのか。今年は何考えてるのかな、お社様は。
A telephone ring cut through the heavy silence. A staff member nearby snatched up the receiver.
おいさん、小宮山さんです。出ました。沖宮のデンタルクリニックで3年前に親知らずの治療をしてます。
カルテは
So who is
レン
it?
トゲン付きでバッチリと。
いやー、こんな明け方前に歯医者さんに申し訳ないな。クマちゃん、小宮山君からカルテ受け取ったらすぐに出発してください。
了解っす。課長です。夜分お疲れ様です。
大石さん、遅くなって申し訳ない。状況は？
やっと面白くなってきたってとこですかね。燃えてきたぞー。
He seems so excited about all this.
わ
Wow. Yep, he seems a little excited about this, I'd have to say. So someone's died, just like usual. And I suppose next time we're gonna find out. That would be my guess. Anyway, yeah, this is gonna be the end of the stream. If there are any other good stream times coming up, please feel free to let me know. I'd like to know. This is something I was kind of curious about. I haven't done it yet. I might do a test video just to see how the quality turns out. So, let me see. I don't think this will show anything. Yeah, this shouldn't show. Well, actually, it will. Never mind. Anyway, so I get some options with stream optimizations here. I'm on normal latency. There's an option for ultra low latency, which apparently gives really close to real-time interaction. I want to try that because it would be really cool to have the stream like show up at close to the time I'm actually doing it. You know, get rid of that 10-second delay. So we're going to experiment with this at some point. I may do like a little experiment stream coming up at some point, so don't feel bad if you miss it. I probably won't announce it. It'll probably be more for myself and whoever feels like jumping along. And it'll probably be some unrelated, not like normal video kind of game. Probably. Might be Subnautica, just like, you know, gathering materials or something. That's one thing. The other thing is that, like I was mentioning earlier, I kind of want to just due to some of the limitations that I don't really have much control over in the YouTube chat, I kind of want to make a Discord just for, like, you know, streams and for other things. Like, if people are trying to message me about something, giving them a spot to message me on Discord might be a bit better. Not like YouTube comments are fine. Those are fine in regular videos because they pertain to the video. Other people see them, and it heightens the experience overall, in my opinion, usually. But if someone's trying to give me specific information about something, it might be helpful to have it sent, like, in a Discord chat or something. So I'm going to try to set up one of those soon. If you don't already, I would suggest, you know, and you like to comment on the streams, I would suggest making an account. And I will try to prepare a little time next time before we start streaming. You know, maybe like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the stream, just giving out the link so that people can join into it. Maybe during like the pre-stream part, that 10 minutes or so before the video actually starts, or before the stream actually starts. So anyway, more related to what we actually just did, we're kind of in that situation just like last time where we know too much now. And there's a pretty good chance, especially considering that we've made it known to the group that we weren't watching the festival, that maybe they might find out that their warehouse is broken into, and maybe, just maybe, they might think that I did it. And that could be bad. So anyway, I do appreciate you guys all coming in. I know for some of us it is a late hour, especially if you don't live in the US. It could definitely be very early in the morning. And I do appreciate you guys coming along, and anybody who couldn't make it, well, hopefully you enjoy the recorded stream afterwards. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Higurashi. So thanks for watching. Bye.